Bojan Simic. He is the Chief Executive Officer and Chief Technology Officer of HYPR. We're going to have to get him to explain how he diverges between those two roles. HYPR is HYPR. There is no E for anybody listening out there and want to look him up. Bojan's vision is for the elimination of shared secrets, and his experience in authentication and cryptology serves as the underlying foundation for HYPR's technology and company strategy of ridding the world of passwords. We want to get to a passwordless environment. Previously, he served as information security consultant for Fortune 500 enterprises in the financial and insurance verticals, conducting security architecture reviews, threat modeling, and penetration testing. It was in April 2021 that HYPR closed Series C funding of $35 million in value, doubling the company's total fundraiser to $70 million. Bojan also serves as HYPR's delegate to FIDO, which is the Fast Identity Online Alliance Board of Directors, empowering the Alliance's mission to rid the world of passwords, which would be awesome. Bojan, really appreciate you taking the time to come and chat with us today.
Thank you for having me. I'm looking forward to this, and I'm also looking forward to the weekend. That's for sure.
Yeah, no, absolutely. So, real quick, can give us a little bit more details in your backstory and how you actually got deeply involved in authentication protocols, because that's really, really niche.
It is niche, and it is
riches in the niches.
Kind of masochistic in nature as well. Authentication was one of those, and just in general, identity is one of those things in the security industry where it is really, really hard, because it's one of those few security technologies that we have to have every single person at a company use. A lot of times when we think about some cloud security tool or whatever else, there's maybe like 3 or 4 people at a company that check the dashboard or look at alerts, on a regular basis. With authentication, the most technical person at the company is using it and prosecuting the heck out of it, and also the least technical person is using it and prosecuting it, and you have to make it work for all of them. And so for me, the way I got into it is, I started out as a software engineer, just writing code all the time, and we always use passwords to authenticate to everything, and that was annoying, but it was just the way things are done. And then I moved into cybersecurity full-time, mostly from an application security perspective, and I started getting good at doing things like penetration tests and security architecture reviews and all that stuff. And 9 out of 10 times when we would break into some application or some sort of software, it was because we compromised a credential. And it was like, okay, well, there's a pattern here. And then so when it came time to start a company around this topic in particular, we said, hey, let's kind of take a step back and really look at things, because a lot of times when we technologists want to solve a problem, we like to take what's already there and find ways to build on top of it. Right. And say, like, let's solve the problem that way. It's the easy way to do things most of the time. And when we look at authentication for like the last 20 years, we just added layers and layers on top of passwords. And all it's done is made things more complicated, made things more costly for businesses, and we still get hacked all the time as an industry. So it hasn't really done much. So when we started the company, we said, how can we actually eliminate the foundation of what authentication is actually built on, and that is the password, and kind of start from scratch, essentially, and then just go down that route. And that's a really difficult thing to do, because it forces you to be very uncomfortable with the way that you build technology. And so for us, that's kind of the origin. And look, Bill Gates in 2005 got on stage at the RSA conference and said, the demise of the password is imminent, and Microsoft is doing it. And here we are 20 years later almost, and we're still talking about it. So I think that's why it was just so critical to kind of start with a new foundation and build on top of that, rather than depending on what's been done before.